One thing that society will always believe, when a girl reaches the age of menstruation, then she has reached the age of getting pregnant. When a girl reaches that age, in most of the cases, we believe that is a woman. We forget that she's still a girl. We begin believing this is a woman, and we stop looking at a girl as a girl. And that has brought a lot of problems to most of the girls who are girls, and we believe they are women now, and we give up on them.
So through organizations like Faraja and Amref, they get to our leaders and come to our community and talk to us about these myths, and then they strengthen us as girls to be free in our menstrual cycles, and then to teach us about the hygiene and how to use the pads.
I first got my periods when I was in primary 7. At first, they were not bad, but now they are more painful than my first piece that I got.
It was scary the first time because basically I would think about it, but then it came to reality, so it was a bit scary. As home for holidays, it wasn't painful. It was just normal bleeding. Yeah, and it usually took 3 days.
My first experience about menstrual hygiene, I was at school and I started feeling stomach aches. And as soon as I checked myself, I found blood on my dress. The experience was that harassing because most of my friends were surprised because they used to look at me as a young one, and so they were embarrassing me, laughing at me, and I felt embarrassed.
Izooba ryokubanza nazo mu kwezi ngaba njya isomero nataha omuka omwaza kuza kuzura empare ku Jozi nasanga ndi omu kwezi nagambira mama yampe sente nazo omu busente bwabe buri hihi nagura pad.
I started the month, it was in March this year 2021. I started when I'm 13 years, and I started when I was in Sorot with my sister and brother. We were in the main hospital there. Now the time I started, I called my sister that you come and see what is coming out from my private parts. She told me that is normal, and she taught me how to make it. She gave me pads and I guided myself.
Nagiye mu period omurundi gwo kubanza kandi ayishomero kandi mu kirasi kini mukire mwana unabe stamina warubazu yangira ngunyine mushaye askati nafune shweta najezirika nkirukanga nafuna otichomwe omukazi namugambira kinamugambire yamporsa kuza omuka nayikomuka nagambira mama yangambira nguburizo mwana obwisiki azago mu period niko kungura za pads akangambira nko kundayerinde.
Challenges that I've faced as a girl during menstruation period is one, I don't get comfortable around like peers because you keep on wondering and keep on checking your back behind to see whether boys are looking, so you really don't concentrate in class.
Mundu gwo kubanza tenderebe ebizibu byingi onka kunasubire nagarukamu gwa kabiri nashasha omunda natera omutwe kanyona ndimunimbura n'amaani.
I throw up, I get a backache, a stomach ache, and I don't even get to do any work.
I experience pain in the stomach. I experience high bleeding. There is lack of pads to use. There is lack of money to buy pads.
Mbera y'abawala strong. Abawala obuzibu bafuna bagenda mu period tebalina sente za pad. Awabeera ne bazadde benga tasobola kwogera nabo.
During lockdown, it was hard for me to get pads because my mother and father, they were not having money because those pads are expensive. I decided to use these bed sheets. I used to tear them and I used. Of course, money was lost that time.
Nafuna okusoomozebwa nekimuleetera okugenda okufuna omusajja n'asobola omuwa ssente asobole okugula paadi kyekimuviiramu n'afuna
Me as a Chimbo Wastam, and as the councillor of this great parish, I believe on sharing information. Because as an individual, I couldn't do anything better than giving information to the young girls. Like coming up with the sensitization sessions, I sit them down and tell them actually the bad things into indulging in such acts that could render them to become pregnant at this tender age. So I try my level best to see that at least sit them down and advise them. And I've tried my level best to get some counselors to come up and sit down with these young girls and actually talk to them, counsel them, and maybe give them some guidance.
Some of the cultural norms and customs about menstrual hygiene is that when you're in your menstruation, you don't have to cook, you don't have to eat fish, you don't have to eat sugar canes, and of which is a challenge because eating is a hobby for everyone.
They told me whenever I'm in menstruation periods, I'm not supposed to take something too hot. That whenever I take something too hot, it just increases the bleeding.
That some women are not allowed to go for worship, places of worship outside the church.
I hear girls are not allowed to cook at home because they're in their periods. They are considered dirty.
I don't believe in the cultural norms because I believe we can learn to be clean, we can learn to wash ourselves twice or thrice.
Such norms, I call them ancient. I don't really believe that they are up to date. So what I do, I try my best to sit them down, and we don't, because I know that those people who came up with such norms wanted to prevent something. Yes, they are not bad, and when we are talking about them, I show them why these people tried to come up with them.
My community has been able to call all girls and calling them for guiding and counseling to tell us the do's and the don'ts during this period.
What I wish for the government to do for us, the young girls, I'd really pray that they would distribute for us pads. They would help us who can't afford buying sanitary towels every month. They could really help us in distribution process of these sanitary towels. And not only the distribution, they teach us how we use it. We can have the sanitary towels and we do not know how to use it. How do we use it? They really need to sensitize us about these things.